Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to RSF1's F2 division. Sorry for the very select delay. We've had a few issues. We've had role reversal as well. So I'm streaming tonight. RSF from Rubens, also known as Michael. Primus is with me. It's just, yeah, you're on the other side tonight, Primus.
Yeah, Uno reverse.
Twitch was like, the Twitch app for you was like, nah, you're not doing it tonight.
So, for anyone that had any concerns or was like thinking, what's happened? Basically,
Hello? Primus, your mic went.
oh bugger, I had it muted. Yeah, sorry. I accidentally pressed the
It's
button
not going
when I
well.
trying to have a can of drink. So yeah, the app kept crashing, and there was physically nothing I could do. I tried loading it millions of times. I reset my console. It didn't work. So yeah, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. We're back in it. Obviously, Rubens is now hosting, so business is in terms of the stream today. So
Jeez, everything's going wrong as well because I had like no sound and I had to unpause it. Codemasters, stop it! All right, and have a good race.
Cody's having a little bit of a struggle day today.
It's just technology maybe today. It's just like nah. Anyway, positive peaks now. Let's look forward to this race, and I am looking forward to this. I mean, I was waiting until Tuesday because obviously I do F5 now, but oh, I love this track. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a fanboy moment, but I love this track.
It's a brilliant track. It's had great moments here. It's also where Valtteri Bottas's lawnmower business sort of started up.
Yes.
And another positive is because my sister, husband, and my nephew have moved out, I can be a little bit more excitable. I can be a little bit more shouty. So
you're going
to see a bit of the old Primus come through again. Because recently I had to sort of calm it down because he'd be asleep in the room behind me. So if I ended up waking him up, I'd end up being murdered live. So yeah. But they've moved out. So you've got the old me back. So when we get to the real nitty-gritty of qualifying, you're going to hear the screamer Zoa that you know.
Oh yeah, I remember the old Primus. Like, oh my god, why is my voice not working all of a sudden?
Pretty much like how Element would be like, oh my god, like when he's losing his rag back in season 2 or the remainder of yeah, but I'm not going to do the Haas thing where I end up emptying each and every single one of my lungs to say Haas. So yeah, we're not going to do that.
Oh, by the way, so you heard yourself briefly there. I was just checking we had audio for you as well because
no worries.
I'm very concerned that things are going to go wrong.
Just not worry about it. Let's enjoy what is going to be a glorious Grand Prix, because this is actually 1 minute 3.7 for Season 2 Wizard. That's a very respectable time. That's a benchmark for the day. This is where the Season 2 finale got wrapped up. It's where Tomic Bresner and Rapid Sprays had their famous duel in the Red Bull Ring. And sadly, even though Rapid Sprays had done everything correctly, he got the fastest lap of the race, he won the race from pole, Bresner just managed to fight his way back up. Sorry?
I'm sorry to correct you, but I got pole that race.
Oh yeah,
sorry. If you remember. I was like, sorry.
So you got pole. I mean, he won the race.
sorry to take it away from Brazina
so that's my age. That's my age.
I was like, sorry to take it away from Brazina and Rapid Sprays. I was like, I got pole that race. Remember that?
It's been a little bit of a while. But still, that was a glorious race. It's just a shame that back then, because it would have made for an interesting championship race if it was full. But it wasn't. It was only 14 cars, 13 cars, because not a lot of people chose to really take it. But the thing is I don't care if it's a championship, if the championship is there or not. If you want to get a little bit of glory and win the race, go for it. I mean, when the championship is over, like constructors and drivers, there's no repercussions in terms of like like letting the team down because it's all been settled. Obviously, don't hit your teammate or don't crash anyone off because we're still a league and we want to be clean. But in that way, there's no more worrying about what happens if we lose points. You can just go for gusto.
Definitely. This is one of the reasons why I love this track, which is explained very appropriately, Primus, by the first 3 times that we got.
Yeah, 1 minute.
3.7, all 3 of them.
I just noticed. On board with FFR Milan, just to point out, fastest first sector. He's flying for the second sector. That's the fastest second sector by the Scuderia. Very easy to lose your time there on that corner on the right there. If you catch too much curb, that's it, game over. Final corner, very difficult one. You've got to chuck it down in 7th gear, flat out. It loses the back end. Round the final corner, don't go too wide. DRS enabled. And FFR Milan, a 1 minute free instantly eliminates the quick time of a 1:03.7 by Caesar 2 Wizard. And JJ Hudson, the previous race winner in Canada, he gets up into 2nd place in Q1.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed, not taking anything away
from
Milan. Yeah, not taking anything away from Milan, but I was kind of hoping he'd do a 3.7 as well. But that's a good lap, despite the huge slide he got in the penultimate corner there. So good lap. But at this point, Primus, obviously this is Q1. You know as well as I do, it is unfortunately obviously 17. 17 is still a good number, but of course we're only eliminating 2. Josh has already retired, I presume, from a qualifying ban, so we're only eliminating 1 more. They're not going to be pushing that much, are they? They just get a lap on the board with some kind of pace. This is not their 100% risk the track limits, although they're still pretty good laps already.
It all depends on who's at the bottom with Josh, because whoever's going to be sitting in P16 with him, like in the bottom area, will start to really panic because they got to get a quick time in. I mean, Sturridge has just done a really good 1 minute free, only just slightly behind FFR Milan. Breezy, both the Renault actually. I tell you what, they're looking pretty on point for the moment because getting into the low threes, they seem to be getting some good pace in, but we've got to still wait on people like Dangerous Dan and Sync Dan, and you already know, like, the Dans is a duel.
Ah, yes. Obviously, I used to race in F2 at the start of the season, had a bit of a break, and now challenging myself in the F1 division. But yeah, these guys are competitive. I mean, yes, anybody on the outside, well, when we say the championship standings, we'll say, well, Muddy Biscuit's got a decent gap over Luke, and then there's a bit of a big gap to 3rd. But anybody on this grid can win a race at any point, Primus, isn't it?
It's not been actually settled between one person. We've had quite a few race winners within Season 4. We've had Dangerous Dan win a race. We've had JJ Hudson win a race. We've had Lukey win a race. We had so many race winners. It's like how... no, it's not actually how like last season felt, but it's been the most diverse bunch I've actually ever seen in a season.
Yeah, been very, very good so far. Is, though, Muddy Biscuit under a bit of pressure to get back into the points? Because he didn't score last week, did he?
No, actually, Lukey managed to capitalise on some serious points there when Muddy was actually out of the top 10. I mean, again, he still maintains his streak of penalty-free, but the issue he had is that he just couldn't reel it in. However, France is a very, very difficult circuit. I think France, in my opinion, feels like Abu Dhabi. Once it gets started, that's pretty much about it. You're going to have to rely on the pits because it's not an easy track to make an overtake. You can live with that massive, massive straight, but you just struggle in terms of like traction and tyres. And beautiful track, in my opinion, but France just is so difficult to race on.
France is neither here nor there with me. Sorry to disagree, but I mean, the thing I love about this track here is it's good for league racing as well. There's so many chances to overtake. The strategy as well is so diverse. Unlike last week, where it was a simple one-stop. Let's be honest, no one was ever going to do a 2, and like you had to start on the mediums because the softs just wear off completely, unless it's raining, of course, which we did have a bit. But here, 1 or 2 stop is very close, and I like it. There's a few tracks on this calendar that are like that, and this is one of them. And whenever you get this, it keeps us as a comms team guessing who's going to win.
It's so difficult to tell with just Austria in general. It's the smallest track on the F1 calendar. It will actually probably is one of the quickest times to be registered. I mean, it's got how many corners? Only 10 corners.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so it's
10 technically.
One of the smallest ones. And Lukey's on a belter, by the way. He got P3 on that lap he just set, and he's already done a fastest first sector, and he's still going for it because Lukey's fighting for the championship here, and he's had really, really good race pace. So I think, as well as the amazing Bresner and Rapid Sprays battle we saw here a couple of seasons ago, it looks like obviously names have changed and so have the teams, because it was Ferrari versus Alfa Romeo, now it's Racing Point versus McLaren. Oh, and invalidates on the second to last corner.
Yeah. That is something you are going to see on this track as well, because of how small and compact it is. You might actually see a few guys do 2 laps, sometimes even 3, on soft tyres. Because in a practice I did earlier this week, yesterday actually, doing 2 laps on the softs, actually the second lap is somewhat quicker. Like you find like a tenth for a bit, because they're rubbered in because of how short the track is. You need like a lap and a half before they're heated up.
Caesar 2 Wizard going backwards there for a moment.
Oh.
But he's managed to correct himself, but he was facing backwards on turn 9. Also, this is very difficult because when you have cold tyres in the wet, in the dry, whatever you do, that wall coming out of the pits is actually quite tight. So if you've got manual control, which you should do, you have to be very, very careful not to bash your brand new car, well, your brand new wing, if you had a wing change, to not hit it on the wall. Otherwise, you've just gone in for nothing. You have to go all the way back around, slap a new one on, and pray for a safety car.
Here's Megason showing a little bit safer. I say a little bit safer. Look how close this is. Half a second covering the entire field so far.
That's incredible. FFR Milan feels... That 133, Milan feels confident with that, even though Sturridge was only just merely nipping at his heels. But Milan could have gone quicker because he did have that snap of oversteer, which he managed to immediately correct. So he could have gone for it more, but it looks like AB Draco is having a very, very difficult session today because he's down at the bottom of the table. He's done 2 laps already on those soft compound tyres, and he's still not set a lap time, even if it was just a banker lap. But he's definitely having a difficult one.
Yeah, that's the thing about this as well, because of how close this qualifying is going to be. And this is what you're going to find this week, including when you race in your tier, obviously at the end of this week on Thursday in F4, and probably a bit of mine as well. Because of how close qualifying is going to be, you're going to see surprises. People that usually, qualify near the top or get into Q3, as Draco's already cut turn 1. Very difficult corner to get right, get the line and quickly go through. Yeah, you are going to see a few surprises this week, Primus, in terms of, people eliminated from Q1 or Q2, which you don't expect. I mean, look at Dangerous Dan. He's normally a very good qualifier. He's done 1 lap, but he's 15th, right in the bubble.
He's going to have to think about going out now if he has any hope of getting himself possibly a safety margin for Q2, because unless Draco can put in a lap faster than a 1 minute free, he could just be sitting where he is. It's very difficult to tell. It seems turn 1 just seems to be Draco's biggest enemy.
I was going to say, we got 20 viewers so far, which is pretty good. So pretty good at the moment. Normally spikes up a little bit by the race. it's been very quiet. The first comment, which at least I can see anyway, is 123 Alfa Romeo from Hippo. Don't know what he means by that. Because we only got 2 Alphas.
I was going to say, unless someone's cloned an Alfa Romeo, I don't think we could see that. AB Draco's finally got himself a lap going now. He's gone through turn 1. He's not cut the corner, so he's actually on a flying lap. He's now gone through third corner, now into the DRS zone, and pushing down the DRS, well, second DRS zone. And now, the famous corner where Lewis Hamilton and Alexander Albon crashed back in 2020's debut. However, he has a nasty lock-up there on the right tyre. Now chucking it through. He looks like he's struggling a little bit for traction. Careful with the curb on the inside. He's still good.
Just keeps it in the track limits as well.
He's not got prime grip compared to how much he had before. A little snap of understeer and oversteer at the same time. I've never seen that before. Goes through the final corner. DRS enabled. Can Draco get himself a good position? Yes, he can. It puts himself P13. It puts Hardy in the elimination zone, the danger zone. Dan now needs to respond, otherwise the one powerful Mercedes could be out in Q1.
This field is ridiculous. You've got the top 5 separated by a 10th. You've got the top 10 separated by 2 tenths. You've got to be out here. You've got to be out here improving. Even if it is by half a tenth, you've got to be doing it.
Hardy's responded to the potential danger, and so has Steffi. Steffi having the unfortunate luck of missing out on his possible maiden F2 victory last week in France after a sudden gamble to switch from the intermediate tyres onto the wet compound tyres, set him down the grid hoping that the fresh wets will bring him into play, but unfortunately they didn't quite get there, and he just didn't have the pace to catch back up and go through the field, and his teammate ended up taking the race win.
Here comes Hardy. He's half a tenth up, but let's face it, half a tenth would put him, well, a lot more safer than where he is right now. This is based on position, I think, where you are on, you know, the 15.
Cool.
You're safe or not.
That's a belter of a lap.
That's 12th.
That's still good. That's
Yeah,
still good. A 1 minute 6:38 is only just a small margin faster than Sync Dan. Dangerous Dan has finally responded, and he is now finally doing his flying lap through the Lauda curve. Not invalidating on the inside or the outside of the corner. Moves up into the DRS zone. Now we're moving up to turn 3. Remember, this in 2016 is when Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton had that famous collision that costed Nico Rosberg a podium, which awarded it to Kimi Raikkonen and Max Verstappen. And obviously, that was the big talks between the Mercedes team because they were very divided back then. Coming down to the end of the straight. Catches a little bit of the curb on the inside on the apex there. It did unsettle the car a little bit, so that might affect Dan. Chucking it down to 5th gear. However, he's got a nice tight line there.
Oh, 3 tenths up. As long as he keeps this clean, this should be alright. Well, where would he go? He go like 6th, I think, with this.
Oh, this is cutting it close, especially for Steffi. As Dangerous Dan goes round the last corner, it's all good now. What can he do?
P13! He lost a lot of time in that last sector.
Steffi's in danger, and Draco did that 1 minute 3.666. What can Steffi do?
It's all down to Steffi. Between Steffi and Draco, who goes through, and well, Steffi's 3 tenths up. Draco's in trouble.
Oh, this could be the fastest lap of the session if Steffi can keep the next couple of corners consistent.
I really hope Steffi can finish this lap because I realise what this means. If he does, he does.
That's the fastest lap.
Right. Look how close 15th and 14th. No, 15th and 6th. You'll get my meaning. How close Draco missed out on.
Oh my god!
3 thousandths of a second. Mad.
Oh my god! I'm gonna grab that screenshot. That is
good lap from Steffi at the end now. They were 3-3, but
That's the closest I've ever seen a Q1 session in my time as a commentator, and that's Q1.
whoever thought Q1 would be so entertaining with 17 drivers, one of which didn't set a time.
That's incredible. I'm absolutely staggered by that.
Well, but this is F2 and Austria in a nutshell, completely. You're gonna see this. By the way, heads up in the chat, because we had our issues earlier, we had to have a lobby restart, hence why we started a bit late. So the conditions, unfortunately, in my point of view, are going to be dry for both the whole of qualifying and the whole of the race. So unfortunate, but what we had to do. Hopefully not too difficult of a thing. Now, wow, long may it continue for the rest of this qualifying, Primus. That was brilliant.
Yeah, and looks like the home team is the first to disembark onto the Austrian Grand Prix circuit. I mean, you have to be very careful in certain places, because I mean, here in Ramus, turn 3, well, it's technically turn 3, because I mean, on some maps it has 10 corners, and some maps it has 8. So, but that little tiny bend there just before turn 3 is technically a corner. So, and then you got Schlossgold. This is obviously where the famous Albon and Hamilton incident happened, and then you got Rausch and the Wurf curve. Sounds more German than it does sound Austrian.
Fascinating how you know all this. So
I might be cheating and might have an old map that I have had for a while. Rint and Red Bull Mobile, or Mobile 1.
Oh, I was going to say, I call myself an F1 anorak, I guess. Or an F1 nerd, if you like. No, F1 anorak. Anorak is better. Anorak is better. And I was like, I don't know the name of these cups. It's like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I didn't know. I know they've named after something, but like, you've got them. And then I realised, you've actually looking at a screen. See, I can do that. Oh, Hudson turned out of there.
He instantly just thought, changed my mind.
Yeah. Right, so turn to Stadion, who's invalidated. Breezy. There we go.
Yay. Actually, you got Caesar 2 Wizard, fastest first sector, as he's just gone through Ramus, and he could possibly, if he can catch up to that McLaren, get a little bit of a toe come off of him as he's going through Schlossgold. Right now, no, he's not getting close enough to that McLaren. I don't think that McLaren's going to give him the opportunity of getting a free toe. Now, through Rausch. Wide entry, catch that curb on the inside, maximise the momentum coming out as you're going into the Wurf curve. Careful of that little curve on the right there, because that can instantly send the car off if it feels unsettled. Through Rint. Careful with the wide entry there by Caesar 2 Wizard. He really took advantage of the track limits there. Luckily not invalidating as he goes through Mobile 1.
3-5.
And a 1 minute 3-5. So starting off the session, and a load of people are choosing softs, mate. Like,
yeah, it's... See, the thing is, I was going to say before the start of this session, because of how close it is, as Milan sets a 3.2. Nice
I love how punctual and exact that number is.
Yeah, it's good. I was going to say, of how close the Q1 was, I don't think anybody should really gamble on the mediums. I don't think you can, really. Too many go on softs. It's impossible to go through on the mediums, how close that grid is. It's only if enough go with the same strategy, and as I said before, that the 1 and 2 stop strategy. The thing is with a 2 stop, I gathered, Primus. Little bit of insight maybe for your race later this week. If you do a 2 stop, you need a fresh set of softs saved from qualifying, so that you have to factor that in to when you do qualifying later on. I said one stop is doable, but is risky. You need to be good on your tyre wear. Somehow I have seen softs to mediums. No idea how, but there you go.
Because there is a lot of laps. For the fact is that it's a shorter track with less turns. It will have a reasonable amount of laps in there. Like, for example, Monaco. Monaco has a lot of laps, even at 50% distance.
We got.
Oh!
What's
Little
that?
Sparks invalidates on the last corner. And that doesn't just invalidate his current lap, that invalidates the next lap. Oh, that's a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, I's the best saying in the chat. Yeah, it was him in the practice yesterday. He took softs to mediums, and I was like, "How are you doing this?" Because I went softs to hards. My hard tyres from lap 10 to the end, 82% on the front left. Yeah, he pitted.
Jesus.
He pitted 2 laps after me and went on to mediums, and somehow they didn't burst. I was like,
then again,
how?
I can't talk. I pushed a set of hard compound tyres from lap 2 to the end of the Chinese Grand Prix and had 94% wear at the end. So I really can't talk.
It is too much. Yeah, again, tyres 175. You've got to be very good at your tyre wear, because I've had a puncture at 76. So, you know, and then as I said, the practice yesterday, my tyres went way past 76 and they didn't. So it's a gamble, because at the end of the day, this game is random when it comes to whether it punches your tyres or not.
And this track is just too aggressive in terms of the corners. It's practically all high-speed corners. So you're pushing a tyre to its limit, and obviously, as you said, that you had a puncture in the mid-70s. Something I've yet to have, but I'm not gonna push my luck here when it comes to my gambles and tyres. But
what track that was as well? That I had a puncture at 76.
I'm gonna guess
It was this season. Just gone.
Australia.
Monaco.
76% in Monaco, and you got a puncture.
Yeah, cost me all I wanted was a point for Monaco and F1, and it was like, nah, you're gonna get a punch on the last lap, and then Unity got me on the line because I had to do the whole of the last lap with a front left puncture.
That's gutting.
As I said, at 76. So again, it's weird how it works. Lukey is trying the medium. Oh, I say trying. He cut the last corner, unfortunately. Would have been...
And it has affected his next lap.
Yeah, would have been a 4-1 as well, which, again, 4-1 I don't think would have seen him through anyway.
No, it wouldn't have, because, I mean, Dangerous Dan's done a 3-8. That definitely guaranteed him a spot. Lukey and Hardy are trying their luck, though. I mean, Hardy's currently on a lap on the medium compound tyres. Ooh, pardon me. So, it'd be interesting to see what he can do. 44.8 in the second sector. Not the fastest second sector. Gotta say, it's not come up with the purple line. Loses a bit at the back end there. Like, he goes a bit wide there coming out of Rint, but it didn't invalidate. Mobile 1. 4-3. No, I don't think those mediums are getting through Q2.
You'd have to do a Herculean effort on medium tyres to get through this week, I feel. I take my virtual hat. I don't have a hat on, but I'll take my virtual hat off if someone gets through on the medium tyres. Competitively this week. I think it's pretty much impossible.
Someone does do that. They will, as you said, you'll tip the hat to them, but they will deserve the respect for seeing it through, even though it seems like the worst strategy in brutal honesty by the looks of this. In terms of the start, I mean, if you're this is Q2, I mean, obviously, if you're starting on the grid, on the formation lap, and you've got hards or mediums on, that's your little gamble, you're willing to take. That's fine, but trying to do a quick lap on a harder compound is pretty much shooting yourself in the foot. And if you can achieve a Q3 with those mediums, fair play, and a job well done.
Shall we ride aboard a lap with Mega Centurion? You want to take it, or should I?
It's your call, my friend, your call.
I'll take it. I didn't hear a yes or a no.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, right, heading up into turn 1. It's the rise of the hill to turn 1. Kind of go onto that left-hand curve a little bit. Obviously opens up the corner, obviously not too much because you track extend. Going up into, I can't remember the corner names you said, but turn 2 is left-hand key. Turn 3, you got to get on the brakes, and then the traction out of that corner is ridiculous, even on medium. As Little Sparks, it's a free flat, very nice from him. Down into turn 4, downhill braking zone, very, very careful as well in the curbs, can upset the car. Turn 5 is right-hand king here. Turn 6, again, you want to open up the corner, but it's very, very bumpy as you turn in. Don't want to run the car too far wide through this left and right hand, and the track limits are always in your face. You've got to keep them in the white lines. Keep telling me that. Penultimate corner, flip the car in with so much confidence, and again for the last corner, the curb can throw you off, but keep it on. Onto the grass a little bit.
Bang Your Dead Phase 6 has joined. This is not a Division 4 lobby, this is a Division 2, so I will have to request for him to leave.
I thought it was Bang Your Head.
No, Bang Your Dead, bang your head, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll let him know.
Anyway, he's F4, sorry. Nice, decent up from Mega Centurion now. 3.4, but yeah, Little Sparks, a free flat. That's the fastest we've seen tonight. That's a big lock up from Lukey as he heads out of turn 3. Yeah, that's the key corner for me, Primus, turn 3, the exit of that. Because obviously, you know, I run medium traction. Even on there, you gotta, when you use medium traction, you gotta feather the throttle somewhat. Obviously, if you run no traction, you've got to be really aware of that exit because the car does not like it at all.
Nope. And this track just any corner except for. Actually, I can't really say any corner. Every corner on this track hates, you know, or hate you, basically. If you treat it with disrespect, the track will disrespect you back, basically. This is just... I mean, who can forget the really bad crash in Turn 1 back in the 90s, and then I think it was the famous Hakkinen and Coulthard spin as well, back in, I think it was Turn 3, actually, somewhere in the late 90s, maybe the early 2000s.
1999.
Yeah, that's it. I think also Mike collected a Arrows back before when it was main sponsor was a cigarette brand, which we're not going to mention on here because obviously that could cause problems. So we're not going to mention cigarette brands, but still, back then the Arrows team, no, it was Jordan actually. It was Jordan. Before when they got their cigarette brand removed, they changed to the Hornets on their car, which I actually quite like the Hornets.
That's a pretty solid one. One of the least remembered races, or one I do remember but for the wrong reason, 2002, where the Ferraris swapped positions over the line.
And they did the exact same thing in 2003.
Yes, I mean, the 2002 one is ridiculous because Barrichello had to give up the victory for Michael Schumacher, and Michael Schumacher at that point had like a dominating dominating lead in the championship. It was clear, even, what was it, this was round 7 back then, of 19, even at that stage, it was clear the Ferrari was going to win. You know, Schumacher they had the best car, everything else. There was no need.
Barrichello winning wasn't going to impede his championship. He still got second. That's really good points.
And John Ted, I can't do his accent, but he was like, let Michael bust for the championship. That's my best tried impression. 3.4 for Mud. He puts himself a little bit safer into 5th. We are looking at the top 10, and again, like Q1, this is ridiculously close.
It seems like a curse of Ferrari if you're a Brazilian driver, because back then it was you need to let Michael go by to for the championship, and then who can forget the infamous Fernando is faster than you. Fernando, it's like Felipe Massa and Rubens Barrichello being Ferrari drivers and Brazilian drivers. It's just pure unlucky. You know what? If you want better luck, just go be a McLaren driver because it clearly worked for Ayrton Senna.
Here comes Steffi. He was in the danger zone and is up to third. That puts Breezy, only one that's set to set a lap very close to the last corner. At the business end now, he goes to third.
Dangerous Dan! Dangerous Dan's on a decent lap here. Fastest first sector. He's just pushed past the limping Renault. He got a little bit of a toe of that. It didn't impede his lap. He's now going through Roush. And now pushing like hell to the Wurth curve. Keep an eye on that corner there, that little curve on the left there, because a little bit of a touch like Bahrain's turn 13. Catch that curve on the inside. You're gone. Now, finally into Rindt. And now Mobile 1, don't catch too much of the curve inside and outside, and that did cost him a little bit of time. He had to back off. The Dangerous Dan goes fourth fastest.
Who stood on the lap? Look how close that is. This is ridiculous. It's
Muddy. Muddy is clutching at straws here, and Lukey's actually at risk of being eliminated.
Stygian's out as well. It's just Muddy Biscuit, and he's only slightly up, which is all he needs really. He needs not.
Oh no! Muddy Biscuit's out!
Oh, no. Fine margins. It's a harsh one, but that's what it is. Half an inch and he's out.
Hudson. He's so close to being eliminated. He just barely made it.
So what? It was 3 thousandths between in and out. 16th and 15th. It's 9 thousandths from 11th to 10th.
Wow, that is phenomenally close. The only person who sort of managed to steer a full 10th of a second away from the pack with little sparks. I mean, the gap between Milan and Sink Dan was only 4/10 of a second. Oh. How close Q1 was, Q2 was literally grasping on straws. Muddy Biscuit, as you said, only missed out on Q3 by 9 thousandths of a second. 9 thousandths! That's so close!
I am very glad they fixed that. I just saw Dangerous Dan's AI car whack the back of an Alfa Romeo. And of course, back then, when we first started this game, it would have been out of Q3 without even taking part in it.
Phenomenal performance, and then Cody's been very, very terrible at securing and protecting their AI cars, decided to just let them play bumper cars and basically, essentially just destroy themselves.
So out of Q2, everybody on softs, you were never going to get through on mediums. No way. Not with this close. Muddy Biscuit just misses out. That's two times in a row he's missed out in Q3 as well. I think he was out in Q1 last week.
P11 ain't a place to be scoffing at though. That's a perfect starting position because all the top 10 are on soft compound tyres now for the start. Muddy can go for a more preservative strategy. All he's got to pray for is a clean start.
Yep. Then he had Stygian, Hardy, Sink Dan, and Caesar Wizard, I think, was the other one.
Nope, Caesar made it through.
Mega Centurion was the other
Mega
one.
Centurion. Which is a shame because Muddy is trying to stay alive in this championship battle, but qualifying is just really, really not being kind to him. But at least he's not too far down the pack. He's not down last. But now Rubens, or I'll just call you Brundle because I know he has Brundle since I started the league. Top 10 shootout. Famous question I have to ask you. Your prediction on the top 3.
You really put me on the spot, really, because any one of these top 10 could be top 3. Let's face it.
That's the fun part. They're all so close. You just can't put your finger on it.
See, I could say Little Sparks, but because he, again, we're talking like tenths being a lot. In this small grid, having a 10th over the rest of the field was a lot. It's almost like half a second at another track. So if he can hook that lap up again, I think I'll go Little Sparks for pole. Second and third. I'm going to go the 2 Renaults, second and third. for some reason that's just sprung into my head as like a Renault 2-3. I think Spark, Sturridge, Breezy in that order.
No, that's pretty reasonable because back in
I know why. I know
France,
why the Renaults.
it was the Red Bulls started on first and fourth, and the Renault completely sat in the middle of them. So Renault have been quite consistent. Sturridge and Breezy, Red Bull and Renault being the only teams to secure both of their cars into the final stage of qualifying. But for my prediction, I'm going to say FFR Milan on pole, Lil Sparks second, because do remember that really quick lap by Milan was only hindered because he lost the back end. And speaking of that, he just spun out on the Niki Lauda curve.
That turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That
Which
turn
is also
1.
a lovely nod to Niki Lauda, the late Austrian Formula 1 champion.
Of course.
And FFR Milan, just as I was bigging him up, he just had that spin.
That turn 1 is a very fine line to get it like right and quick. Thing is with this track, it's an easy track to learn, but it is a difficult track to go quick, as Hudson gets a very harsh, in my opinion, again. What I think of most of my personal, that's what I think of most of my personal corner cuts. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll just track extend that turn 1 out of frustration." Very fine margins around here to be quick. You've really just got to, and this is where you're going to see it. This is where you're going to see people extending corners and looking like they are cutting or track extending, but obviously getting in there as Caesar Wizard completely slid for the last 2 corners. He wasn't going to get away with that one.
And Dangerous Dan looks like he might be the first to set a lap of 3.7.
Oof.
But Sturridge also seemed to have a little bit of trouble, because I think I've seen Sturridge do faster than a 1 minute 3.7. But there is plenty of time left. It's 8.5 minutes left of Q3, so it's still alive.
It's a banker lap, if anything else.
I think right now... sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, getting a banker lap early in like the first 2 minutes, especially at this stage of qualifying, is a good thing, because as I said before, this is the point where you're going to see a lot of people playing with the track limits, leaving it within inches of invalidation. So to have one there as a benchmark is always a good thing here. Eases your mind a little bit. Oh, there goes Milan.
Oh! That's
Very
quick.
Flat. Nice.
Magic Marks, the Season 1 Division 2 champion, is responding though. Fast. Oh no, he's invalidated on the final corner. That would have been a 3-8, but I think he backed off. But I was going to say, right now, to me, in terms of an opinion, like with Magic Marks, it almost feels like Schumacher's return. Schumacher returned back to Formula 1 after retiring in 2006. In 2010, when he joined the Mercedes team, he had the skill, but it's just he had the trouble on track as well as obviously with car reliability. In terms of league racing, we don't have car reliability, so no one has engine failure or hydraulic problems or anything like that, unlike what people like Schumacher and all that had back in the day. But he's a good driver. He became a champion for a reason, but he's been having lots of trouble on track.
That's a thing for next game. As extreme as this sounds, you're saying about in-car failures and that kind of stuff. Would it be something that you would like in league racing?
I would, because that actually adds the ability for promoting caution with how much you push your car. Obviously, if you're too aggressive with your gearing, you're going to extremely knacker your gearbox. And that means, it could be really like a one-sided thing. You could see someone taking it off in the distance, and then suddenly, oh, look, he's had hydraulic failure. He's now retired, and it's just like, oh my God! Just when failures happen in Formula 1, I mean, look, I know some people are Lewis Hamilton fans, but come on. When we saw Malaysia, when Hamilton's car was on fire, everyone couldn't help but scream with happiness.
No, not everyone, of course. I mean, I was one of those that would agree with you, but of course, yeah.
I mean, me being a Ricciardo fan, I kind of like, that gets Ricciardo back in play.
Victory, yeah. It's it's a debatable subject because you're all for it, but I would know of a lot of people that wouldn't like it because obviously this is a game compared to real life, but would add something else into it because you see it a lot in career mode. If you knacker your gearbox, you're damaging it, then you lose gears or don't get proper engine failure.
You lose boost.
You don't get proper engine failures. The engine deteriorates, but you don't get proper like smoke out the back and everything like the AI does, which
is funny because your car will practically be incinerated on the inside, yet it will never smoke up. But
it just slows down, doesn't it? It just gets worn, and that's it. I never let it get that far. Hudson 3.7.
It'd be funny to see someone have such terrible gearbox where Brundle and do an Ayrton Senna where you win the Brazilian Grand Prix of only 6th gear.
Yeah. 3.2 from Lukey, by the way. Goes in a second. These are wizards. A little bit wide through turn 7.
This is close.
Nice.
Did you see him really exploring the track?
Oh!
Oh, God. Good correction, though. I'll tell you what, I'll give him that. He wasn't stranded on the track. He had that slight little contact and just managed to steer the car back into the correct position.
Good thing as well, the two good things. First of all, we stayed out of the way of Dangerous Down, who was just crossing the line to set a 3-3 to go to 3rd. And he's still got 4 minutes left, so even with the damage of the front wing, he can get back in the pits with plenty of time and get back out again.
Interesting to see that Bill Sparks actually having trouble in Q3. He set a really good time back in Q2. It looks like for now he's just kind of wishing things are a little bit better. However, he's on another flying lap, so we'll monitor his sector here. If he gets a purple sector, which is either a better personal best or the actual fastest, he's 4 seconds up
on an 8th lap though, so hard to tell whether he's on a potential front row here. As the car in, bit of a slide. Gets the last corner wide, very wide.
Good though.
Nice.
Oh.
3.2. Personal best last sector to boot as well, and will he have time to get back round again? Ooh. Even though this is a quick lap, hard pushed, I think.
2.5 minutes nearly, and little Sparks, pardon me, even after that little wobble, he's still looking pretty good. I thought for a moment he was deteriorating, but then he managed to instantly shut me up with a 1:32.
Still got 3 that yet to settle out. Magic Mark, Steffi and Breezy. You've got Caesar Wizard, who needs to improve on a 7.5.
He's now coming out. He's now heard you.
Yeah, I think this is what happens, as I said, when people are really pushing for track limits. This is where you're going to get a lot more validations, a lot more mistakes. They realise how close this is. They really need to put in 110% into their laps just to be up there.
They have to go beyond. Plus Ultra.
Oh, Breezy.
Yeah.
Oh, he got away with it.
Steffi just taking a little moment to slow down for a minute. I don't know what he... Oh, no, yeah, he was going for like a little warm-up. You know, when you slow the car down, just give it a little bit of excitement to build up, and then boom, you're gone for it.
Oh, Sturridge is on the flyer. It's 4 temps up. Oh, he was. Commentator's curse. He validated the penultimate corner.
That would have been a possible P4 or a P3. Yeah. Magic Marks. He's on a lap as well. Steffi. Actually, it's perfectly in order. Breezy's in front of Steffi. Steffi's in front of Mark. So in just a moment, Brundle is just going to be like, bow, 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 instantly with their laps.
Hudson coming around as well. He's got round. There comes the Renault of. I think that was Sturridge. Hudson goes
that
to
was
fourth.
JJ Hudson. I thought that was the M3.
Mark goes to fifth on a 3-3.
Steffi's invalidated. But the second lap, you did say the second lap can also be almost as good as the first because you're actually getting some warmth in the tyre.
Milan's on for a 2. He's a 10th.5 up in middle sector.
Oh!
This will be a killer lap if you can get into the 2s. This will really ripple through the spines of tier 2, and I think he's doing it.
Yes, he
Yay! A 2.9. What a lap.
can! And now 5 seconds remain of the qualifying session. Sturridge is out. He is retired in the pits. Milan can't go again. Sparks just narrowly missed that. Well, not my pillow down there on the back of my gaming chair. Steffi Weffy Gamer in the Red Bull, one of the cars who needs to set a flying lap. Breezy round the final corner. This is his last chance. Crosses the line on pole. 2.8.
One and only lap, and he goes pole. Nice.
That's mental. But now Dangerous Dan puts himself up to 3rd place. JJ Hudson 4th. Lukey's still out of the track. He's right in front of Steffi Weffy Gamer. Can Lukey get himself a good starting position for the Austrian Grand Prix to put himself up on the higher ground for the championship battle? 3rd place, Steffi Weffy Gamer. Oh, P9.
Well, give a clap to Breezy. His one valid lap, and he goes pole by 800ths.
That is crazy. I thought Milan was going to be the only car to get those 2s, didn't you?
Lukey up to 3rd. Dangerous Dan. I've got to give credit to Dangerous Dan, actually. Wing damage?
Yeah, he's got a missing end plate. I think that's orange damage.
No, that could be AI related. He's close to an AI. It could have hit it. Dangerous Dan, his qualifying fascinates me because wasn't he in danger in Q1, like 15th before he put in a lap, like 2 minutes to go? He did the same in Q2, and then he stuck it in the 4th in Q3.
He cut it close in Q1, but then he instantly just... I think, for the time being, I think Dangerous Dan was building himself up. Because, I don't know, but I think he was kind of praying that Draco wouldn't make it through. It was a huge gamble, because he was riding on Draco... he improved to 13th, because he was actually in danger of being eliminated, but then... we got Breezy.
I invited Breezy. Pole position, man. Do you mind taking this? Asking the questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Breezy. Okay, so first of all, Q3 was a bit hard for you, mate, because at first you struggled to set a lap, and then just as we got blown away by a 1:29 by FFR Milan, you instantly blew us away with a 2.8. We would never have thought, and no offense in our predictions, none of us predicted you would get into the top 3, let alone pole. But you blew us both away. You exceeded our predictions, and you start in front of the pack for the Austrian Grand Prix. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you your strategy because I'm pretty sure you're going to keep that close to your chest in terms of your cards there. But what are you at least hoping for today from your team? Because I know you would like a 1-2, but right now, both of you are completely separated. Your teammate's in 10th.
Yeah, well, I was honestly surprised about my lap because in time trial I'd done about 30 minutes before the race, and my quickest lap was a 2.9. I literally beat my time trial lap. So I think doing 2 laps, I didn't mean to do 2 out laps because I validated my first run, but 2 out laps kind of helped because the tires are kind of like gelled in a bit, kind of like the warm a bit. I don't know why, but it just kind of worked. I did that in Q2 also, and it got me through like 3rd. So I think it kind of helped that way. But yeah, I'm just surprised I got the lap really. I've kind of had a bad first sector, but my middle sector and my last sector was just spot on, so it kind of equaled out a bit.
I think it's well established that even the championship battle between Muddy Biscuit and Lukey is the thing in the drivers, but in the constructors, the most clearest rivalry I've seen from this season is Renault and Red Bull. You both have been clashing horns, like, you know, in the entire
Mate.
season so far. Like, the closest I've ever seen you all together was France's start, because, you know, you're
You'd be
both
surprised, you know.
stuck in the middle.
Because we're literally 8th in the constructors, so, you know. Not
But
going well in the
you're
races,
fighting
but
like
in
you're going for the
quality.
lead.
I know, but the race is just not going well, so. The only race that went well for me really was Zandvoort when I won, so. And I think I got a good result somewhere else, but I mean, I'm just, hopefully just don't get an incident and just keep the main race, so that's literally my aim really. I think the strategy's same for everyone, so I don't mean it's going to be a mix of strategy. Not unless someone does like the opposite way around, I don't really know, but.
Well, you never know, because your pace, Breezy, not just in qualifying, your race pace is also very interesting, because in France, even though it's a very difficult track, your pace was quite good. So I will not be surprised to see Renault doing right, because Sturridge may be starting in 10th, but he is not a driver to be slept on. He is a very, very quick driver. The question is, how much can he capitalize off that start? But I mean, this is good for you though, because at least now you've got both those Red Bulls behind you. I know Hudson isn't too far behind, but at least he's separated by Lukey in Milan, so you have a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, with the start though, I should be decent. Cause I'm on medium traction. I'm on controller, so the thing is that Milan's exactly the same. I normally talk to Milan in the parties, and he's medium traction controller, so it'll probably be pretty similar for start. But we'll see.
And before we let you go, obviously you did say you're fighting in the bottom of the constructors table in Division 2, but do you have any, like, it's still quite a bit into the season, you know, still a lot more races left. Do you reckon that you and Sturridge could probably turn it around and maybe even gun for the constructors?
I mean, maybe not gun, but if we can get top 5, I'll be happy. I mean, end of the day, it's just like, I mean, last year I won a constructors with Sturridge, so I don't think we're going to go back to back, but I mean, if we can just be consistent and maybe just try and get top 5 and return, come back from where we are, then I think that'll be solid to fair.
Or at least beat the Red Bull.
Yeah.
Because they're definitely, in my opinion, your clearest rivals in terms of constructors battles, because you know, you've all been so close together. I cannot see another prominent constructors battle.
Yeah.
Right, Brundle, do you have any questions for Breezy?
No, just best of luck. You got a 4th in Spain, by the way. It was the other place.
I'm just going to quickly pop to Lou.
Cool. Hope you have a good race, because obviously that was your last good result, because you've had a bit of bad luck for the last few weeks. So I hope you hopefully have a good one. I'll leave you to it, because they're just getting underway.
Right, cheers.
Thanks again. Right, I'm just going to give a very quick rundown of the points before we get going. Just do the drivers for the time being. Muddy Biscuit leads the way on 147 points. Lukey second, 121. Milan on 89. Dangerous down on 63. Steffi Weffy Game on 58. Caesar Wizard 55. Breezy 51. Little Sparks 49. Then Josh 48. Hudson 47. Stygian 46. Draco 24. Mega Centurion 20. Magic Malcolm 15. Sink Down on 10. Sturridge on 10.
And back.
Hardy on 2 points.
Alright, we've got the formation lap.
Yes. Very quick rundown, please. Very quick, because we're already halfway around.
Rightio. In 17th position, we've got RS Josh in the Haas at the back on the softs. 16th is AB Draco in the Williams on the mediums. 15th is Sink Dan and Ferrari on the soft, so quite a few drivers are choosing to steer clear of those mediums, even outside of the top 10. In 14th is Hardy in the Alpha Tauri on the mediums. Stygian in 13th in the McLaren on the medium compound tyre. 12th Mega Centurion, medium compound tyre, and the final medium compound runner in terms of the whole grid moving up from 11th position. Who sits in the 11th position is one of the championship protagonists, is Muddy Biscuit in 11th position on the soft compound tyres. However, he has the advantage compared to the top 10. His tyres are much more fresh. So he will have that little bit of an advantage when it comes to tyre life. 10th is Sturridge on the soft in the Renault. 9th is Steffi Weffy Gamer in the Red Bull on the soft compound tyres. Caesar 2 Wizard 8th on the soft in Alfa Romeo. The championship winner in Division 2 Season 1, Magic Marks in the Williams in 7th on the soft. Lil Sparks 6th in the Alpha Tauri on the softs. JJ Hudson 5th in the Red Bull. 4th is Dangerous Dan in the Mercedes. 3rd is Lukey, the other person in the championship battle. He has the higher ground today in the start. 3rd position in the Racing Point. 2nd is FFR Milan in the Ferrari. And the man who blew our minds with a phenomenal qualifying lap, Breezy on pole.
There we go. Captain Grim, 901st. I'll answer that question once we're quietened down, because this first lap could be very, very hectic. As we
Would you
get
like the honours?
Please. Yeah, lovely little shot as well. That's another little thing I love about this track. If we can get things underway, because we know what Codemasters is like. As I say that. Oh boy.
Hey, more bugs.
We're waiting on one person again, probably. Josh and Hardy by the looks of it.
I can't see who's struggling to load on my end.
Well, the only thing I say that is because Hardy and... Oh, it's Sync Dan. Apparently.
Oh.
Sync Dan's... Yeah, unfortunately he's going to have to lead the lobby. Get things underway. Technically we've already had a restart, so I really don't want to have another one. Oh, I'm going to have to reset the game, aren't I? Because obviously it's going to...
I'll send you an invite back in. Lukey in the Austrian Grand Prix. I'll try and give a little blow by blow while we wait for you to get back in.
Probably, yeah, because you're on the Xbox
Series X. I'll be in there.
Which loads up quick. Gosh.
Not even 2 seconds.
This game's not even working with us today, is it?
Nope. Right. Let's get you an invite. Or not, because the game wants to be a complete.
So I can jump in off someone anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I know I have someone.
Right. Going from the start of the Grand Prix, it looks like Breezy got a bit of a poor start, with Milan now in the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. It goes from lap 2 from the line. Milan first, Breezy second, Lukey third. Dangerous Dan is in 4th. Magic Marks is in 5th position. Lil Sparks 6th. JJ Hudson 7th. Caesar 2 Wizard 8th. Sturridge 9th. Money Biscuit up into 10th position. Steffi Weffy Gamer in 11th. Stygian 12th. Mega Centurion 13th. Hardy 14th. AB Draco is in 15th position. And Josh down in 16th position. Sync Dan being the first car to be out of the Austrian Grand Prix, and we only just started. Meanwhile, Josh is putting on the hard compound tyres after his incident that he seemed to have had in the early stages of the Grand Prix.
That was the quickest run down of the grid. Keep going. That was the quickest run down of the grid I've ever
That's
heard.
just because I can really go for it now. I'm not being hindered by a sleeping baby. And oh, there's a little bit of a battle down in 8th position. Muddy Biscuit has moved up 2 more positions just as I finished going for that rundown, and he's already holding off Sturridge. Sturridge is keeping it in there. Muddy Biscuit is climbing now through the grid. Meanwhile, down the back, Caesar 2 Wizard being a bit pressured by Stygian. I think Caesar's got some damage. Yes, he does. He has actually yellow damage on the left end plate. Stygian's got the fresh medium compound tyres, no wing damage, and he's looking down the inside into the Nicky Lauda curve. Caesar Wizard just holds off on the racing line. It means he has to buy this time DRS assistance now for the McLaren, as he's going to use the ERS and the DRS assistance. Is it enough to make the move down into turn 3 on Caesar 2 Wizard? No, he can't, because it looks like Caesar 2 Wizard just got that little bit of toe from the rest of the DRS train.
According to me, St. Dan got disqualified.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And Josh is Yeah, Sink Dan is no longer in. Can you see Sink Dan somewhere?
No, Sink Dan is completely. Oh!
Oh my word!
Why?
Did you reset? Did you?
I did.
Quit the.
Ash
It's
just.
not working with us at all.
Cody's hating
It really
me.
isn't.
They already hate me for not letting me put Twitch on in the first place. Now you're not letting me enjoy the game.
Right, apologies for all of that. I've got pictures back again. So,
Wee.
yeah, sweet. So, top 3 seem to have pulled away a bit from Dangerous Dan. He was struggling in qualify. In fact, people dropping left, right, and centre. The connection ain't great. Muddy Biscuit's now leaving.
No, he's not. Breezy.
No, it's a
F05 Milan
restart,
is
is it?
still holding the lead. It's just you having the interval glitch.
No, everyone's leaving the session on mine.
Oh.
Not everyone. Like, 4 people have...
We can't be doing a lobby
Dropped.
restart. We've already gotten through the opening stage of the Grand Prix. Once we get past lap 1, that's it.
Let me jump on board. Well, Dan... I need to go on my Discord. Sorry. This is really confusing me.
Right. But meanwhile, while we have a quick little investigate into that, the battle for the lead is still rapid there because Milan's being pressured by Breezy. Breezy may have gotten off a poor start going off the line. Gets a 3-second time penalty from cutting too much of the inside on turn 1. He's got the DRS assistance and the ERS. Moves onto the outside line going through up into turn 2. Now through turn 3, gets in front of the Ferrari and keeps him back there. Breezy retakes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix, pushes FFR Milan back down. Milan's now got the DRS assistance coming out of turn 3. Now moving down to turn 4. He's got the outside line on the Renault. The Renault tries to hold it in. There's a little contact. Unsettles the Renault, and Milan moves back up into the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Now Lukey's getting into action now because he's sniffing the back of this battle, waiting for something to happen, and pounce. Magic Marks has actually had a really good start. He's in P4 and he's pulling away from the rest of the pack behind him. He's got a little bit of breathing room.
Sorry, Primus, can you run through the field and invite people that have disconnected, because it's a good free.
Rightio, I will get on that now. So
Like, timing pages keep being destroyed over and over.
I think that might be no, Milan's fine. So let's see, we need
Money Biscuit's one of them, and I don't think he's joined back in.
invite to
It really
game.
is a shame this is happening, because the front 3 are in a titanic battle right now. And we've got to keep on this until we have...
I'm just inviting everyone out of the top 5 just in case, because I can't tell who's Red Cross because I can't see him.
Where you going? Yeah. I was going to say on TV pod.
Stitching.
And
Oh!
Hudson.
That Red Bull, I can clearly see JJ Hudson's still in his car. So it's Stitching, so I'm not going to bother inviting them. Hardy, it's hard to say. Hang on. Caesar 2 Wizard is definitely not one of those drivers back.
Yeah.
Dangerous Dan. I think Mega
AI
Centurion
causes so
might not
many
be back.
issues.
No, he's in his car. He's there. Storage is.
We are
as well.
having horrendous lobby issues, is all I'm saying right now. We've just got to bear with it. Oh, there's damage all over the place. This AI car is causing so much issues. Storage is left again.
I'm not getting notifications on who's leaving. Little Sparks is definitely not here. No, he's AI'd. What is happening? Oh, Breezy down the end of turn 4. Oh my God, they both go round the Haas, and it's a 2-way battle down turn 4. Moves down. Yeah, oh, it looks like Josh retired on the track there. That almost caused the championship battle, so the battle for the lead to just completely go haywire.
Safety
and because
car.
of Josh retiring on the track,
Safety
has
car.
triggered a safety car. So not only was that an incorrect form of retirement, but it has completely brought the drivers who were suffering from that restart, sorry, from that start because they got kicked from the lobby, It has brought them back into contention and has now completely thrown the strategy out of proportions.
Hudson's out as well.
Wait,
There's a lot of confusion going on because a lot of people are lagging out, but at the rules state, and I'm sticking to it this time, it's no restart because it's not a mass disconnection, it's just individuals one at a time.
Which still does not dictate by the RSF1 rulebook to constitute a restart, so we keep going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I see what people are saying to me on Breezy's left as well. It's really unstable. But under the official rules,
I generally can't see notifications on who's receiving a penalty, who's left the lobby. I generally can't see them. So I have to sort of rely on you to tell me what's happening to...
Restart. It's too many.
But
restart.
It is a restart, but we're on lap 8.
So many people are calling it. They're basically forcing my hand.
I know
It's
a majority
best,
are calling the restart, but in the end, the decision is still up to the comms team. So this is our call. We're not going to let them dictate us, but that is just a general discussion, Brundle. Your opinion, is this worth restarting the Grand Prix?
I feel it's far too unstable.
It's far too unstable, but the only counter argument I have is the Grand Prix has already begun, and we're already lap 9 out of 36. We've never had a Grand Prix start. We get like nearly a third of the way in, or a quarter, and then called the restart. It's a difficult decision, but in the end, I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'll respect your decision if you choose to call the restart. But all I can say is it might cause a bit of an upset for some drivers who have really managed to find their way back up the pack, especially with that safety car. Drivers like Josh, who's retired on the track, that triggered the safety car. Obviously, that is a problem.
Yes. Restart call, please. I know. I get where you're coming from, but there's too many people that want me to, and in my eyes, it's too unstable to carry on. It's too many people leaving, joining. It's 6-7 people, so sorry to go against you. It's just my feeling on it as well.
People are saying we can't back out. We haven't actually, we were still in the processes of making the decision. So this is the final decision. Brundle, is this a restart?
Yes.
Right. The decision has been made. If anyone disagrees with it, you can tell us after the Grand Prix. But the comms team have now officially declared a race restart. For the reason being that the lobby has completely freaked the hell out. It's kicked us out multiple times, and it's also kicked all the drivers out. So, due to that, we have called. Well, it's been called a restart. And I do feel sorry for some of the drivers because they're still battling like.
I am gonna. Yeah.
They're still battling like it's not been called. I mean, Draco has just moved up into the lead of the Grand Prix while we're still waiting for the message to be relayed through the pack. Yeah, a load of the grid is gone. We have lost Hardy, Milan, Lukey, Magic Marks, Little Sparks, Stygian, Caesar, Dangerous Dan, Muddy Biscuit, Breezy, Steffi, Starridge, Centurion. Literally all but one car is actually driving, like is actually a player. And right now all the AI are just playing bumper cars with each other. Look at the conga line.
That was a difficult one. That was a very difficult one to call for me. Because I understand that obviously I understand that we're in it. We were already like 9 laps into that race, but it's far too unstable to, as people are saying to me, it's 6 or 7 people that keep leaving and rejoining.
Right. So I need to speak to Lukey. 1 second.
Well, right, so hopefully we can get this underway soon. Very rare this happens, obviously. Don't normally get these many problems. Obviously Primus is now going to relate to the lobby host to see what we're going to be doing here. But I'm going to continue that. As much as half of me was saying, keep it going, because some people will be happy with that. But some people then needed a restart, so I felt that was the right decision, rightly or wrongly. I appreciate, by the way, those saying me was the right call, but you're always going to get this right. There's the lobby reset again. Hopefully we can get this underway. It'll be worth it once we get things started, I assure you, but annoying when this happens. Really, really annoying when this happens. I think the best thing to remind ourselves is it's not our fault. Instability with the game, as rare as it is, we do get these moments like this, and the best thing to do is to persevere. Yeah, so whenever those people in the chat asking what happens now, so we always have a procedure whenever this happens. It's custom grids, so we have the results from qualifying. They will reset the grid and or set the grid as if it was from the qualifying positions, and then we go from there. So it's effectively a race only with the grid that we would have had. Obviously, the annoying thing about this is that everybody has fresh tyres, including those in the top 10. But it's the way this has to go. And as I said, at the end of the day, it's not our fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's just the game at the moment being unstable as it is. Fingers crossed. Obviously, the next one is better. We've got to persevere whenever times like this happens. Hopefully we can have a good race ahead when we get this underway. From the start, I knew this was going to be a difficult or interesting evening. Good thing is we got qualifying on the way. Oh, my book. Yes, I forgot about my book. My records book. Thank you for reminding me, Double. While we wait, because I think Primus is still setting up the grid with Lukey at the moment, so bear with me for a second. Let me just find a good one. Here. Ooh, an interesting question for you guys to begin with. So this is basically going to use my records or F1 records books for those out there that have good knowledge of F1. If you maybe want to have a go, they have to start at the same time as they did from race 1. Yes, same time as they did qualifying. So, well, everyone in softs basically. Everyone outside the top 10 still has free choice, like before, but everyone in the top 10 has to start on softs because they all qualified originally on softs. Okay, got a little question for you guys while we wait here. You alright? Hello? You were connecting for a bit there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh god. Mm. Yeah. Mm. You haven't hit the box. Have you hit the box? Oh my god. Hang on. Hang on, I know what this is.